I've been studying up on the Create mod, so today we're going to hop back into it and go over some more of the basics and create our first contraptions. Stay tuned. How's it going, guys? It's jblader. Whoa, and welcome back to another video on the Olympus Craft server. I'm on here with so many talented players and builders, and right now I'm just in the spawn town taking a little tour around, seeing if there's anything new that's popped up. Nothing super new has popped up, just same old type of stuff, making sure my shops are stocked, and haven't worked over here in a while. I see, oh, there's a llama head there that's kind of popped up. You never know what you're going to see around here. But I had someone ask the other day to show off more of the server because they're new, and I do have a lot of new subscribers. Thank each and every one of you guys for subscribing. I appreciate it. We're going to do a server tour real soon, but what you need to know is the Olympus Craft server is an SMP survival multiplayer server. It's kind of like an invite-only type of deal where everyone on here is a YouTuber, and all their links to the channels are in the description below. So go check out the other players if you want to see their points of view. We'll do another tour of the server pretty soon, like I said, and there are a few mods on here that you might find interesting. We've got stuff like Tom's Simple Storage, makes our storage solutions a lot better. We've got backpacks, we've got the Deeper Darker mod, and these trees. Oh, the trees, I love them. From Oh, the Biomes, You'll Go. Ecologist, Create, Botania, a few other kind of lighter side mods. And that pack is actually, you can download it on Curse Forge. So if you want to play along, yeah, grab it on Curse Forge. Anyway, today we've got some work to do. Last time we were over here working on the Create mod, if you remember. And I realized that that's kind of ugly, and I also don't want to do my entire Create setup here. So we're going to be moving it today. And we're working also on the train stuff, which is coming along really quickly. We're going to be building some trains here real soon. As soon as I get all the Create things set up, then I will be very, very excited to start building some trains. But that's enough rambling. No more rambling. It's time to hop back into Create. Today we're going to be looking at the Create mod, and I figured I should put all of my Create stuff in the industrial area that I have my iron farm in, and I haven't showcased that in a long time. Oh, I did kind of mine out and design these stalls here. This is going to be the train stalls where our finished trains are going to go. So I think this will be a great space for that. I did that off camera. And that's pretty cool. We're going to be able to store some trains. If we want to run them, we can run them right into the tracks from right here. Pretty cool. I'm excited about that. So let's hop right into Create stuff. It's new to me, but I'm excited to give it a shot. Let's jump right in. Do you remember this place? The Industrial District, where I've got the iron farm. We haven't been over here in quite a few episodes, and I remembered that I didn't finish building this side. Well, we're gonna have to do that at some point. But this is a great area where I'll be able to keep the aesthetical stuff at my base, which is about 500 blocks in that direction. And I'll be able to keep all the technical stuff here. We've got the iron farm set up to a Tom's Simple Storage, a few botany pots, and a little villager breeder over there, designed by server member Zinjy. This should be a great start. We got some light gray concrete for me to build on. What I realized with Create is that you're going to need multiple levels of things most of the time. You're going to want like an area lower where you can run power, where you can run shafts that are going to be turning things, and then up top we'll have the actual workstations with all the tools that we're going to be wanting. So this way, maybe a little more aesthetically pleasing. So I've just got a little bit of space cleared out here for all things we're going to need to do. Like I got to set up a water wheel and get and all that stuff. Create mod, amazing mod, but new to me. So we're going to be going over, last time we went over everything from andesite alloy to the mechanical belts and setting up an automated shaft making machine. Today we're going to be covering things like the millstone, gearboxes, hopefully all the way to some cart assemblers, some drills, some windmill bearings, simple machines. Bear with me, but let's get started with some Create stuff. I've got a big old water wheel here. I got like five water wheels, and we're going to kind of do the same thing. I just wanted to showcase how I'm going to get power up above, and I think this is the best way to do it probably. Yeah, this is still new to me, so bear with me. I'm going to put a gearbox off of this one. There we go, and we can use a wrench. Okay, it's already facing the right direction, so we can run power off of this. This is going to should produce a lot of power. So hopefully that's enough. It's probably overkill, honestly. Another fun little thing, I don't like how this looks. So if you ever take just an andesite casing and right click these things, it'll not eat the casing, but it will change the the look of it, which is cool. So now we've got power coming up here, and we can run stuff off of it. Gearboxes, super easy to make, just andesite casing and cogwheels. And now we can run this back onto that. We got to grab our wrench. One of those. There we go. So now we can get power running in a few different directions. I actually want to face that way. Makes more sense. We can run a machine there. We can run a machine here. Next up, I made a millstone. Millstone is very cheap. Yeah, andesite casing, cogwheel. And you've got to place it next to a cog. So I want to show you there's a cog here. I'm going to right click the andesite casing there. So now we still have power to both of these pieces. And what's nice about the millstone is we can throw a bunch of stuff in it. So I've got some wheat here. If we throw some wheat, I think I literally have to throw it yet. It's going to grind it up and give us wheat flour. Hey, we got an advancement. You can also put ferns in here to get dye. There's a bunch of cool things you can put in the millstone, so it's pretty useful to get early on. Next up, we're going to be taking our smelting and power washing to the next level. Let's make a propeller. They're pretty easy to make. I'm just going to go ahead and craft a few of those. We're going to be making some encased fans. We're eventually going to be able to make a bunch of different setups with the encased fan, but to start, we're going to do one that's called power washing. So let me get some power to one of these bad boys. Now we've got the fan power with the gearbox, and it is blowing hot air. You see if I stand in front of it, it's moving me. But this did take off some power. You see 64 SU. So every time we draw off something off of our main power source, it's going to remove power from it, which isn't really a problem because the fans, I don't think, are going to take that much power. What it is going to do is maybe slow down the speed at which it's working. So just keep that in mind. There's a bunch of different ways you can do this, but we're going to place a depot here. I like using trapdoors, so place a trapdoor here. So now things are going to be blown in there. We can place another trapdoor. We're going to be putting a water block here. And now if we throw things in here, they will get power washed. So for example, let's throw that wheat flour we made a minute ago in here. You can see there's a kind of animation effect. And there we go. We've got some dough. Now, this isn't going to be used for eating. We're going to be combining this with some dye. And this actually gives us slime balls. So if you aren't farming with a slime chunk, this is a way to get slime balls. And this stuff is going to be really useful for Create because we're going to be making super glue. All the mechanics that we're going to be using are going to be needing super glue. Iron sheet, slime ball, iron nugget. One super glue can go a long way. So don't worry too much about not having enough of it. We're going to be making one of our first machines. So this is the things that we're going to need to make a drill machine. Of course, we're going to need the drills. Takes an iron ingot, but besides that, pretty cheap. You're going to want to make a gear shift. It's just a gearbox with a redstone, basically. You're going to want to make a cart assembler. And we're going to need some windmill blocks. So for the sails, you're going to need at least 8. I would... yeah, you'd probably want to make more of these. It'll get more power the more you make. Of course, we're going to need like a windmill bearing. Yeah, windmill bearing to put that on. This thing is real cheap. We're going to need a minecart, and I'm going to make a ton of drills. One last thing we're going to need is a rope pulley. So if we place down a rail in a cart assembler, you can see the cart assembler is pointing this way, and then we throw a minecart in that, and we're going to be making a mechanical machine here. I'm holding shift. You can see this is unpowered. Holding shift and combining all of these drills. One short. Okay. 5x5. There we go. I added some chests. So all the items it collects are going to go in there. We had our rope pulley. We need it to face this way though. We'll place a gear shift. This is going to be able to power, basically say go or not go. It is that simple. And we're going to place our bearing here for the actual power. You can see so far nothing is powered. There we go. So this is the bearing itself. Remember, bearings spin, and that's what we're basically going to be doing off of this. Next, you can grab any block. I'm just going to grab some cobblestone. I'm going to mine out a little area for things to spin, although I think that the sails kind of ignore solid blocks, so don't have to worry about that. Let's grab our sails, and we're going to be placing these here, I think. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so the trick here, if I do believe, is to place them kind of opposite of each other. Kind of imagine how a sail that is going to be turning clockwise, they need to go. So if the wind is catching them on this side and spinning it this way, then the other side needs to be the opposite of that, right? Kind of like that. And now that I've got a bunch of these, I'm just going to spam them. What's nice is that everything is connecting here, making this a lot quicker for me. So this is how our contraption is going to get power. Come on, work with me here. There we go. So now we just need to super glue everything together. These cobblestone blocks are going to be all spinning together, so that needs to be a contraption. These drills all need to be a contraption. We want them to go at the same rate. The chests we want to tie to the drills. And then these 3 pieces we want to tie together onto the cart assembler. So you can see now when I hold the super glue, this is going over this is connecting to here. The rope pulley is connecting to the gear shift and to this bearing. So everything should be powering itself. And I think we right click it. Now look how much power that is. 3,000. That is 3,000, where the water wheels over there are like 500. So that's some power. Oh, these things are going. Oh, that is so cool. I think what's nice about the gear shift is we should be able to just grab a regular lever. Minecraft lever. And if I alternate it, it's going to go up and down. So that's how you can control it. You know what? I'm just going to let this thing go because I kind of like watching it run. This is how Code bored out that entire train track area, by the way. So now that I know how this technology works, I might be using this myself. Although we have botany pots here on Olympus Craft, I wanted to show you, if you want to make one of these automatic farms, and trust me, I'm going to be making one on Olympus, not Olympus Craft, on the Battlecraft pretty soon. This will actually create a full power water wheel. We don't need that much power, I don't think. Let's do something like one of these. There we go. Okay, so it's going a little slow, but that's okay. And if we use a clutch is just a shaft that you can say, I want it to be on or off. It's pretty simple. So that's where our power is coming from. We're going to be making a farm now, so we're going to need our mechanical bearing. You want the mechanical bearing to face up. So we got power going up to that. Now, if we right-click this with an empty hand, yep, you'll see that it is turning. It's turning, what is that, like counterclockwise? Let's go ahead and turn it off again. Now we can come out here and place a few blocks like this. This is going to be an automatic farm, so we'll need some harvesters. These things are crazy good. We want to point them in the direction that it's going to be spinning. They will pick up a crop and replant it for you too. Let's place some chests on here, and we're only going to be able to access the chest while it's stopping unless we set up something for that. And to do that, really easy. Going to set up a chest here. Chutes are just really fancy hoppers, so we're going to be setting a chute on top of that. And then on top of that, we're going to put a portable storage interface. Really easy to make. The thing I was missing simply was to add another portable interface here. Let's add this to the machine. And now these two guys are going to like link up when it goes around. We've got 2 encased fans. Boom. Yes. Very odd, but hey, it works. This is just a way for you to move items off of something like this onto something else. And don't worry about the timing on this because unless you're growing crops insanely fast, it should be able to keep up with whatever it's harvesting totally fine. By the way, if you ever want to remove the super glue like this, you just hold the super glue in your hand and punch it, and it'll go away. Here's a little tip. If you need to change the direction of something, like if I put the gearbox one higher here, the fan was sucking air in, we can simply go like this and place this here, and now this is going to switch it. So that cog is spinning the way the gearbox is spinning. This is spinning the opposite. So now we've got some blowing air. We can take our andesite casing, cover that up. So kind of matching the rest of the aesthetic. And now with this, we can make a smelter. Ah! This is the setup that's working for me. There's probably a more beautiful way to do this, but you just need a lava source. I think having a space here is necessary, and then I added a space here. I think you can use a depot too, but if we throw out some items we want to smelt, this is kind of slow because we only have one fan, one lava source. It's only spinning at 64 SU, so it's not spinning super fast. If you get that up to probably 250 or higher, it's going to just smelt the items faster, but still, this is free. You don't get XP like in a furnace, but it still is a free way to smelt things compared to a furnace. I counted that it was about 25 seconds for like a stack of items. So really not that bad, especially considering how we're still powering all of this thing off of just our one big old water wheel down here. And we saw how much something like a windmill can produce. Speaking of that, this device is almost done. It's on its way back up now. Well, it is done. It made it all the way to bedrock. So once it gets back up here, I'll show you how to move it. Oh my gosh, this thing is so slow. You can make it faster if you're just feeding more faster power. Like the 3000, that's the amount of power, that's the torque, but the speed of it is slow. So there are ways you can get around that with the cogs, of course. Any day now. Excellent. Ooh, we got a few items in here. Next up, we're going to be placing a lever on here. Let's flick it. That's going to turn everything off. And now if we right click with the wrench, bam, we have the contraption. See the tags there? It saves the entire contraption for us, which means we can break this. I want it to go, what, like here? Cart assembler. Ow. Yeah, but you can see it kind of ignores the solid blocks for the most part. And just like that, we're right back at it. This thing is so freaking cool. Now, is it faster than clearing chunks with the TNT duper? Probably less painful. For the next thing we're making, we're going to need a blaze burner. We're going to be making a mixer. That's a nether rack, some iron sheets, and once we have an empty blaze burner, I'm going to go ahead and grab a bunch of them because eventually we're going to need a lot of blaze burners if we're going far into this. Let's head to the nether and we'll grab a blaze. Yep, my blaze farm from episode 4 of the series still coming in handy. Once you got the blaze burner, you're going to be placing it in the ground, a basin over top of that, and then over top of the basin, we're going to be placing our mechanical mixer. Got our mechanical mixer hooked up, and then we just need to get a cog onto this, like that. This may not be fast enough, or it may be insanely slow, but what this will allow us to make is brass. If we take copper and zinc, let's throw our 4 pieces. It's basically a 1-to-1 ratio. You can see we got that in there, and then we feed something to our blaze burner. Coal is, I think, the best thing to do. You'll see our little mechanical mixer. It's going, it's mixing it up, and if we look in here, brass ingots, there are 8. Perfect. We're going to be using brass ingots quite a lot, so you're going to want to go ahead and make a good bit of this stuff. Once you've got the brass ingots, you can turn some of them into sheets by placing them on the depot like that. Then we're going to be making a deployer. And to make a deployer, we're going to need an electron tube. For the electron tube, you're going to need rose quartz. So let's go ahead and make some of this. And then you're also going to need sandpaper because we're going to have to polish it. And then once you have that, you're literally going to put your sandpaper in your offhand and your rose quartz and right click, and it's gonna polish it. Oh, our drill is done again. All right, come on up, buddy. This is where I'm going to end the create tutorial for today. There is still obviously a lot more to do, but I went over most of the fundamentals. With this, you can start applying them to contraptions, but I highly recommend checking out some YouTubers that will show you little contraption tutorials, much like the base game where you may look up how to make something like an iron farm. With Create, you can look up how to make different types of farms, and they're usually not insanely complicated. On here, we've got so many things like the botany pots that make a lot of the farming just so much easier, so there's no need for me to make like that farm I had over here. The botany pots just kind of do that for me, but there is some contraptions I need to make on here for automating blocks. And hopefully next time we can head over to Fuzzy's area, Fuzzy's and Zinjy's industrial district, because their create setup is years beyond this, and I really need to grab some inspiration for some things to make. I also want to give a huge shout out to a YouTuber that I started watching for the create stuff. Their create videos are really great, and the tutorials are simple, easy to follow, and very well put together, and that is RobPlaysMinecraft. I'll put his channel link in the description below, but if you're looking to how to make like some great create contraptions, go check out his videos. They're genuinely super great. So thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in today. I can't wait to do some more create shenanigans here soon and hopefully automate some of the more advanced stuff that we gotta get done. This iron farm's crazy here on the server, and maybe even use some of the create drills to help me clear out a little bit of area for the rails that are coming up soon, the trains. Oh, it's so exciting. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.